Hey, welcome to the Pop Culture Green Room. This is Blair Bryant.
And this is Kimberly Bryant.
So we're doing something a little bit different today. You're probably wondering what it is and what the hell is that behind me on my screen. So
What is that?
anyway,
What the hell is that behind you on that screen, Blair?
yeah, so
I even
so
say that right. I'm like, I can't even talk.
right. No, you're good. You're good. It's so anyway. So the I think kind of the running gag that's been kind of going on between Kim and I because we know we're both twins, we're also very very different. And like, long story
Uh-huh.
short, I ended up just kind of randomly falling down a K-pop hole and like almost within the past year. And I've been kind of falling kind of like not as deep down it, which is actually kind of a good thing, but enough to where that my music shit, my music loving self, like I've just been just kind of like really entertained and highly into it because like, I've had like a background with music industry work here and there and that it's something I want to do. And this kind of reignited that love for music again. And Kim kind of, doesn't like her taste in the music's pretty different sometimes. But I think she's kind of wondering like what's going on here. Still kind of
I
figure
do
out.
because I think it's just an age demographic for me. I think that's what it is. I think it's because it's
Fair
so
enough.
new for me. For me, it's so new, which is but probably isn't all that new, but it's just like it's and I just I don't know, and I feel like I'm just too old for it. But then again, it's like saying I'm too old for like all music, which isn't the case. But I don't know. I guess because when I watch these people perform, I'm like they're so much younger than me, and it's like I don't know. I don't know. I guess because I see, and then of course we've got a 4-year-old niece, and she loves it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
A lot of
just
people
like
love it.
oh yeah. So just like I'm gonna start off, like without getting to like a whole history lesson, but K-pop it's actually stands for Korea pop because it originated out of South Korea. Probably say kind of sort of. Well, the interesting thing I heard is that it kind of came from whenever the military, U.S. military, like was stationed like out in Korea, like I think in like 1950s, and they wanted entertainment and have music, and it kind of like slowly built from that. But in recent
Yeah.
decades, where you had like the like it became really huge with BTS, who a seven-member boy band, and they've been on a bit of a hiatus because in Korea, all men are required. Able-bodied men are required. I can't talk. All able-bodied men are required to do military service, unless they could get an exemption, like for some health reasons or whatnot. And well, like two of the members currently have been out for a few months now, and the rest of them come from their they finished their military service. Some of them within the next 5 days and 5 and 6 days, and the rest of them then we finished by the end of the month. So that's gonna be an interesting takeaway from whenever they come back. And you have Blackpink who's been really big, and like, like Jenny and Lisa and Rosie have big solo careers right now. They've been pretty known stateside. And so it's like, a little bit of a touch on that. But I've been just really interested in the artists and like I've always liked boy bands and especially in sync, back in the days.
Mhm.
A little more recent than that, pretty much, they were one of my favorites too, and I feel like that they didn't have the career I feel like they deserved. But, I'm actually about to circle back to them a little bit, and you'll see why. But anyway, so, like, one of my favorite groups, and I told Kim about how it's like that. I want her to kinda, like, get a reaction from it,
Mhm.
ENHYPEN, they are actually on the same they belong to HYBE, which is one of the same companies that BTS comes from. And they were formed together, like 7 guys formed together back in 2020 during a pandemic on a survival show called Island, which was a bit crazy because it had these kids isolated and they were learning, about they've been isolated and stuff like that, and kind of, just forming this group together and stuff. And but they've been, breaking records, selling millions of copies of records. They are super talented. Let's see. So they are actually played Coachella this year. That's also why I want to show you.
Okay.
But yeah, so just to kind of get, but they have a new album that just released. It was released today called Desire Unleash, and their video for the song Bad Desire came out today. So I'm gonna show Kim a reaction, and that's who is behind me. And I'm actually going to, show real quickly about like who they are real quick before I do a reaction shot of them. Let's see. In here they are right here. That's the same picture behind me. So it's in Hypen, all 7 of them. There's Jungwon. He's a
Okay.
leader and phenomenal dancer. There's Jake. He's actually from Australia. Jake, another talented guy. They're all talented. Sunghoon, who actually was a champion figure skater before he became an idol, which is super cool.
Okay.
Nikki's actually from Japan. Because everybody else is from Korea except for Jake
For
and
him?
Nikki. Yeah. Now Nikki, like he was
Okay.
actually one of those child prodigy dancers, and the funny thing is, I actually remember seeing him on TV when I was a little kid, like years ago. And this heeseung, he's like their all around ace, really good at singing, dancing, rapping, all of that. This is Jay. He was
Okay.
born and raised in Seattle up until he's like 10 years old. And he lived in Korea most of his life after that. And this is Sunoo.
He's not J-Hope.
Oh no, J-Hope is a BTS.
Oh, okay.
But they're the same label though, yes. So yeah, so we get into that part. Like so like a lot of these groups have like they have like a certain lore, you know, and that they have where it's like and there's like where it's kind of like, you know, different tales that kind of goes. I'm not really into the whole lore thing of it. But what's interesting about them is that they have a vampire lore. And the thing about it, which is kind of like weird to me in a way, is the fact that I kind of feel like that their label had them doing songs that are way too mature for them for their age. And some of this kind of falls into it. But I want to show you some of these images to kind of give you an idea
Well,
of
you
like
forgot to introduce the last one.
oh, Sunoo.
Oh, okay. Oh, you
Yeah.
talk about him a lot.
Yeah, he's actually one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
okay.
he's not my favorites, but I actually say my main bias because that's what they call your favorite, and K-pop is your bias. My bias is
Okay.
actually Jungwon, this one over here.
Okay.
He's a really good, he's a great dancer, and like and I'm like and my biases tend to be the dancers for some reason. But I also like to watch his videos because he has to practice his English. I think that's really sweet.
Mm.
But some of these concept photos, I just kind of want to get your take on them because some of them are kind of like, okay. But yeah, this is like one I found of Jake right here. Okay, so glove over the face. Okay, I kind of want to get your reaction on some of these. I actually like that picture of him. So
So
I found
are
this
you
on
playing it?
shout out
Are
to
you?
K-popping for.
Wait. So are we watching a music video?
Oh, we're going to. I just want to show you a little few concept. Is this any of this showing up or no?
No, I
I'm
see
not
the
sharing
picture of
screen
the.
still.
Yeah, you're sharing it.
Okay.
It just may be slow. Like I still see the first picture you had up.
Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, maybe I didn't change the right frame. Okay, 1 second. Let me stop sharing this real quick. I'm kind of new to this part, but anyway, bear with me, y'all. Okay, this is want to show some of the concept shots I saw. Like shots of K-pop, and because they had everything on here. So like, you know, it's kind of interesting, moody, dark, but some I think are kind of like, okay, what's going on here?
I just don't. I just
But
have no clue what's going on. I'm just like,
yeah,
that's
well,
how
it's
I'm
like
like.
because they have like a bit of a vampire lore, and it's kind of like it's the concept store. It's kind of dark, but some of it I think is a little bit scandalous, which you're probably gonna see. So people kind of like, okay, so and there's
So
Jake in it.
these are clips. These are clips
It's like
from the music video.
not a video, but it's like it's kind of it kind of coincides with it. So he's got a rope around his hands, okay, and he's got this mask on,
Mm-hmm.
kind of handle electric type mask on. It's so I'm trying to find a mouse first. This is Sunghoon right here. That's in this shot here. Okay, cool. Oh, some of these shots are cool. Some are kind of like another little mask on. It's a J right here. Another one, and I saw wearing this mask. And Jay is in bondage. Like, what the okay? I wonder, like, in areas he's in bondage. Well, it's the reason I'm kind of bringing up
Okay.
some people kind of like raising their eyebrows about it, and I can see why because it's like they're on. I mean, most of them in their 20s except for Nikki, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like, and they're all younger, and it probably like early 20s, but it's never kind
Mm-hmm.
of like is a little much, you know. But then it's like people like there's another girl group who are under attack for their stuff, and they're like in their late 20s, early 30s. But then it's kind of like a double standard anyway. People are talking about that. But I actually like Sunny's look right here. I like this. This is kind of cool. Got the latex gloves on. The a little different, weird, but no. But so here's some bond. Okay, watch this. But you know, I would say, I mean, I like the creativity. Okay, it's like I'm trying to remember because there are grown ass men now, except for Nikki. Like some of the stuff is a little bit much. And then here you go with Nikki in Bond doing this. Anyway, it's like some more posts about here. And that's actually one of my favorite pictures here. Like this one, like a shadow one's pretty cool. But in this, he's in again here and more bondage. It's like what the hell? There's
I guess I'm
sunghoon
just
with
I think I just don't
latex.
well, just to me, I just don't see a shock factor. I guess because 'cause I'm just not like I don't know.
It's like it's kind of like in a way it's a little
Bondage,
bit
I mean,
shocking, but a way of kind of like it's actually kind of
I
cool.
guess, but
I
like I
actually
said,
like this
like
shot of
I'm not
sunghoon.
ingrained. Like I don't. It's so. It's just like
Yeah,
I
I
guess
get
for you
stuff.
because I'm not. I don't know much. I'm not like all into it. So it's
Right, I feel that. Some of these shots are cool. But it's like, but yeah, and like, why is heeseung wearing a bondage collar? I want to know what the parents think of this stuff. And like, it's kind of I feel like I don't know, like, but I think also too more than anything is that they were doing some of these concepts with them even when they were younger than that, and I didn't care for that, and I think a lot of people didn't either, and I
okay.
think
Well,
that
that's really
they
weird. If
were
they were
really weird
underage,
about
they're
it
doing
too,
that with
and
them, then that's like
this shot's
problematic.
pretty funny. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but anyway, so that's enough for that. But I'm gonna show you the video. So it's like their first single it's out right now, and we're gonna kind of do a watch and stuff and just kind of see like what your thoughts of it are on it. So now I'm just gonna kind of pause it here and there, and um, but and just kind of get your take on it because, like I said, this is all
Okay.
new to you, and we're gonna have some fun here. Alrighty, so I'm going to get ready to play this. And just play here and turn the captions on.
Did you really think I could just stand by and watch you disappear? I Did you really
I don't
think
even know if I
I
can you
could
hear
just
it?
stand by and watch you disappear? I don't.
You can hear the video?
Did you really
Yeah.
think
Yes, I could hear
I
it.
could just stand by and watch you
Oh,
disappear?
I can't. That's
I
weird.
told
But anyway, it's
myself
fine.
it was for you. It's hard. Always be toward the darkness. It was your own
Okay, Sunghoon looks really cool right there. I like that shot of him looking up and
Mhm.
the flying through the sky was kind of I mean, definitely kind of took him back to like the Lost Boys movies, like where vampires are flying, because I haven't seen that in a long time since then.
Is that what this concept is?
It's like a vampire concept, yeah, but it could I mean I could see an inspiration from the Lost Boys, so I wouldn't doubt it. Which makes sense because they're
Okay.
boy groups, so
With or without you. 지키고 싶어 투명한 널 제발 그만 멈춰서 다가가지 마내 어두워 널 비켜.
you know what's funny is that I feel like I've seen this building like several times. I think a lot of K-pop videos are filmed there. They just kind of redo the
Oh,
set,
okay.
which makes sense, but that's really interesting. But and like they're great dancers. You see some of it more of the choreography later.
이러면 돼 don't touch don't do it 널 향한 내 손을 막아도 taktik하다 단cho 다리 내 욕망을 붉게 물들여 With or without you 너는 이런 천국은 지옥인걸 With or without you 너를 아는 지옥은 천국인걸
Well, I like this.
Yeah you got that
Yeah, they're a vibe.
Video games.
Yeah. Okay, Nikki's eating this right here. He is. He's embodying this concept so well. And it's kind of funny. Like the girls how they made him kind of like and that's like about some people it's like it's controversial takes. Some people kind of like, I don't like girls being used or whatever because it's cultural appropriation. I get that, but I feel like in this sense here, it's not because they use like vampire fangs, like an updated fangs. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I wouldn't even taken it that way. I wouldn't.
I
I
wasn't.
just.
Well, I
I
wasn't
was
either. I
like,
was just
yeah,
kind of pointing that out, but because
yeah.
it's like, I mean, it looks like things, looks really cool. But anyway, I feel like that he's like, I feel like
Yeah,
this,
look
this,
like things. That's, yeah.
yeah, this concept is
대로도 넌 결국 나 위해 기쁘게 웃을 거라서 이러면 돼 Don't touch, don't do it 널 향한 내 손을 막아도 닿을 때 커다란 저 다리 내 맘을 붉게 물들여 Without you 너를 잃은 천국은 지옥인걸
I like that. That's
Without you 너를 나는 지옥을
Doesn't it remind you a little bit? It's like with the
Yeah.
weird kind of reminds you a little bit of Cirque du Soleil. Like
yeah.
it kind of reminds you a little bit of Kidam and Lanuba, like their outfits, sort of.
Well, that's what. Yeah, like the guys like and Lanubo and they kind of train, you know. That's
Yeah,
what
you
it
got
sounds
that.
like.
Yeah, that's what reminds me a little bit. Yeah.
Without you, 나를 태우니 beautiful fire. It's all my
You'll
bad
find
desire.
What is it? You know, where girls like levitating, you
Oh,
know, when
what's
she's
that?
like on the bed. Was it the poltergeist? The when he's floating in the that reminds me of like a horror movie with
I think
like
so.
or was it
Exorcist,
the not the
Exorcist.
poltergeist? It was
The
the
Exorcist.
Exorcist. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it reminds me of. Okay.
That's pretty funny.
I like the dance.
Yeah, they're phenomenal.
나를 태우는 beautiful
Yeah.
fire. It's all my bad desire.
I just don't understand this dragon thing. This is kind of confusing.
Yeah, I guess it's like
It's cool.
I guess it's a monster, so that's part of the lore. But yeah, so that was I think your first K-pop video. I think I'm assuming. So, what were your thoughts?
Artistic. Artistic and it was the mix of the dancing was was good. I mean, was good. I mean, videos nowadays are just kind of weird. Like everywhere, like not
Yeah,
like
the video is kind of it's interesting, you know.
well,
But I
like
think it's I get the A for
well,
effort for the concept.
I was well, not really. I was saying just like in general, like a lot of musicians and stuff. Like, look at SZA, she makes weird videos.
Yeah,
Playboy
true.
Cardi makes weird videos. All these people make weird videos. So I'm like, that's just the thing now is like weird videos. But so for I mean, it wasn't bad. I just thought for whatever reason I just laughed hysterically when you know that's
Like
sex
floating in the air. Yeah.
but I mean, um. Would I go look for it to go watch it again? No, but it was interesting.
I will say this though, that's like I mean, and that's cool because I mean, like you know, whatever floats your boat. Because I'm more into that's like one thing
Like
I
I
like
would
K-pop
watch
videos
them
now.
perform though.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah.
definitely for sure. Because it's like to me, it's like I'm much more into like the live performances, and a lot of them too. Like they'll do like dance videos only, where it's kind of like they might be in the same costumes as a similar set or same set, but they're just dance performance only. And I love stuff
Mhm.
like that. And that's why I feel like I'm missing a lot, and that's why I like K-pop so much because it's like kind of I was talking about back to pretty much because they were one of the last
Mhm.
favorite, you know, stateside boy bands are pretty popular, and then they just banned it just like a couple years ago, something like that. And funny enough, Edwin Honoret from pretty much he actually wrote one of the songs on a new album that just came out today. So that's pretty
Okay.
cool. It's like a cool full circle moment. But yeah, I think you like
Yeah.
sort of performance videos, but also definitely check out. You actually saw part of it for me not that long ago. The Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel performance of "Loose." That
I
song
saw
is
it.
that's my favorite song from there right now, and uh, they're killing it. But that's like I feel like they have a lot of
Nice.
potential to be huge, and I feel like that I could tell from their career, from what they want. I think that they want to be more than just known as K-pop artists. And they have the
Mhm.
potential because I feel like that's why I think they're my alt group because like a lot of these groups I feel like they kind of sound the same or some of the stuff's kind of hit or miss in my opinion. But I can
Mhm.
tell with the trajectory that they're on that they want to be more than just what they are. And their music and the sound reflects that, and their dancing
Mhm.
and also like I have to play some other songs for you too, like some of their older tracks because their style of music reminds me of some of like the something like whenever R&B I think was at its height, like in like the
Mhm.
like in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, it's some of the music's reflective of that, but kind of a more modern take. And I think it's why I like them so much too. But anyway, that's kind of like my
Got
introduction
it.
to you. And then hype and just kind of getting your take on it. I thought that was kind of fun and something a little different for us for the podcast. So
Yeah, for
we'll see
sure.
how people react to it. And so, well, it's that. On that note, I guess we'll see y'all later. And maybe we'll do this again.
Alright.
Maybe we won't. We'll see. But I thought it was a fun little experiment.
That's fun.
All right. Well, have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.